Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Two Girls with Cancer.
Hi, Ashley.
Becky, here with episode 3. What are we talking about today?
Looking good, being sick.
Yeah, the stigma of looking good or looking sick. I think it's more the stigma of looking sick.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? If you think of a person with cancer, what do they look like? Do they look like me or Ashley?
Nope.
Or do they look like a frail, bald person with gray skin? That's what I think.
So do I.
So before I ever got sick, I remember having a conversation with my boss.
Yeah.
And I said, like, what are you doing for Christmas? Or what did you do? And he was saying he couldn't get together because someone in his family had COVID. And then how he was so disappointed about that, but then had a conversation with one of his buddies who was going through chemo. And he was like, I can't ever see anybody. I can't leave my house. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm thinking, like, why could he not leave his house if he had chemo? I think he probably looked the part.
Because it also takes a lot out of you, right?
Well, for sure. Like I said, I think I was more active during chemo than I was through most of my treatment. But yeah, like I think that this guy just embodied the part of being a cancer patient. And when I got sick, I didn't want that for me. I just felt like cancer and my health was so... what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it was so out of my control. Like, obviously, I didn't choose to have this. I didn't choose to be sick. So the one thing I could control was how I looked.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I had some tired days. I had some puffy face days, a lot of, tears days.
Yeah.
But for the most part, until I started chemo, I looked healthy. I looked real healthy after Mexico. And then even when I did chemo, I still looked pretty healthy. Like, no one would have any idea because I would wear fake lashes. I would do a full face of makeup. I would have wigs. So, like...
Look good, feel good.
Yeah, really. And I did. And the days that I would go out looking like a naked mole rat, like, I felt sick and people would be like... I remember the first week, probably, I shaved my head. I was going to Sobeys to pick up... because they have a post office there, pick up a wig that had come in the mail. I ran into a guy that I knew and he just like instantly like had tears in his eyes because I looked so sick. And I went out without a hat and I went out bald because I thought, if this is my life now,
Embrace it.
I'm going to embrace it, right? I'm going to get used to it, right? Because I didn't know how long I was going to be bald for.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got in the lineup to pay for my groceries and this old man was like staring at me and I'm like, what's up? Cancer? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, thanks. Like, you just like, what if I'm just, I don't know, a girl who likes bald? What if I'm just a full-on liberal, like, feminist, right? Maybe that's what it was. But, like, I was looking the part and he just assumed that it was cancer. And so after that time, like, that was in July, I was like, I'm not being a sick person anymore. Like, I do not want anyone else to see that I'm sick, right? And
because you also don't want people to like feel sorry for you,
right? Like, I kind of did.
Yeah,
like, feel sorry for me. I'm going through some stuff, but I didn't want them to like look at me and be like, she's dying, right? I wanted them to look at me and be like, dang, cancer is not at all what I thought it was.
The dying part, like I don't want somebody to treat me differently than a healthy person, because then it's going to sit in my body and be like, oh no, like, then it's like, oh, I'm dying. I am dying. Oh my God, I'm dying. Like, I'm dying. Like,
even now, like the other day I was driving with my mom. She's like, I'll drop you off at the door. I'm like, why? Well, so you don't have to walk that far. I'm like, Mom, we clearly need the steps. Like, why would you drop me off?
But that's also their mother.
Well, for like, sure.
I want to protect my baby.
Yeah. I'm like, no, protect me more by making me exercise, by making me get my steps in. I'm like, we can park at the end of the parking lot and walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, Mom, I've apparently been cancer-free for 4 months now. So, like...
But that's just, and it goes to show like how crazy it affects your body. Like, I'm still so tired.
Well, all the time. Yeah.
Like, and it's been since August that I've been told that I don't have active cancer in my body. I mean, there's no time limit on when you're supposed to feel better.
And isn't it interesting too? Like, you didn't have chemo or radiation, and your body is this tired from the surgeries and from the cancer itself.
And because I had so many things taken out of me, such invasive surgeries and exploratory surgeries, like the 2-in-1, the last one, where they had to do another exploratory surgery. So they're in there digging around my organs, you know, and it's like, nobody really realizes, like, they're like, oh, you just had a surgery? You just had a surgery? It's like, no, I didn't just have a surgery.
Like, I didn't have my wisdom teeth out.
In my second surgery, my intestines, everything, they were cleaning them. Like, they were out of my body because the cancer was everywhere, right? Like, but people don't understand what that does to a person and how it affects them. Like, I'm exhausted every day. Yeah. Always.
What you guys didn't see is Ashley asleep on my couch while I had to do a call. And it's funny, the call that I was on was with an occupational therapist from our cancer center to discuss a follow-up on being tired and fatigue and brain fog. And I'm like,
it doesn't go away. I swear.
She's like, so in the last month since we've had our meeting, what have you done to try and alleviate fatigue, to alleviate brain fog? And I'm like,
even like, cause as we mentioned, we started the gym. That doesn't help.
Okay.
You think it would help, but it doesn't. It makes me, I don't know about you, but even more tired.
Well, that's what the OT just said to me. She's like, oh, so you're going to the gym. That's awesome. She's like, how do you feel now that you're doing that? And I was like, exhausted. Because because the oncologist, I said in the last episode, the oncologist was like, you have to exercise to beat the fatigue. And I'm like, okay, thinking, I'm going to exercise. And I'm just walking around the track, but like a lot of walking and fairly brisk. The odd time I take weights with me and I do it. Yesterday, my friend made me do that Jacob's ladder for 1 minute and I thought I was having a heart attack. So, so I'm like, I'm going to come home. I'm going to feel so energized, whatever. No. She's like, what do you do when you get home then? I'm like, I lay on my couch for like several hours after that because I've completely overdone it. Yeah. But like they say, you should walk at least a half an hour a day
to get your exercise in. But that's also like on the looking good but being sick side of it. Like, we may look good, but the exhaustion, the fatigue, the memory, the aches, the pains, the stuff that you guys wouldn't see and that we probably wouldn't post about.
Yeah.
On our daily.
So, like, for example, if you see me out and about, I'm laughing, I'm dressed normal, whatever, I'm walking, I'm
makeup
interacting, whatever. But what you don't see is, like, my arm can only go to here. Like, I can barely lift it up here. It hurts so bad all the time. It's forever aching. Like, I'm always rubbing it because it hurts. And then, like I said, the last episode, like, my back just hurts all the time. Like, my body just aches. And then I just come home and all I want to do is lay down on my couch. And then, like, laying down for a bunch of hours, then I'm even more sore when I get up. And then I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go walk around. And then I'm so tired. So it's like this never-ending circle where it's like, when can I catch a friggin' energy break?
That's like right now. I'm so tired.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to make you coffee.
Yes, I do need one.
Take it.
That's fine, because when we're done this episode, I am going to go home and take a nap before I have to be mom again.
Yeah, right?
If I don't get that nap and if I don't get a sleep, or even like, I usually like to take 2 hours
to nap.
To nap. I have to.
See,
because I won't function.
Even before I ever got sick, I hated naps. And it's not like I don't enjoy, like, being in bed and sleeping. I love sleep more than anything. But when I would nap, I'd wake up and it'd be like, what year is this? Where am I? And it would be so dumb. I'd have, like, the craziest
it's just more
brain
harder,
fog.
like, kind of on your body.
Yeah. I'll just rest. I won't nap. So even, like, since being sick, like, I very rarely take a nap. Like, I'll disconnect, I'll put my phone away, I'll lay on the couch or whatever. Yeah. But I don't ever take a nap. And like, and bedtime, it's so late. It'll be like 1 a.m. I'm like, why are you still awake? You have cancer. Go to bed.
Crazy. I
know. I'm an anomaly because everyone talks about how tired they are and how they don't want to eat, and here I am just stuffing my face and staying up to the wee hours. Like,
you lucked out on that side. Me,
I don't know.
I can't keep my anything together. I'm so tired. Then that cancer brain that I already suffer from gets even worse.
Well, when I talk to you though, and you're like, "Okay, I'm going to bed," and I'm like, 6:30. Like, I'm jealous of that.
But I can't. Like, I feel bad for baby, but good thing he's still young. He just likes his dinosaurs. He's got his stuff. We color. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, we do it in our bedroom. And then mommy just, we go to bed. I go to bed when he goes to bed. Yeah. Because I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Like, mind you, we're up early. Mm-hmm. But still, it's like, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's so hard. Yeah. But I don't know when that actually ever comes back. Because, like, going back to our topic of the episode, like, they'll look at you. You'll go out, you know, you'll be seen in public. You'll look good. And it's like, well, you're better. Why aren't you at work? You know, like... That's someone said to me, well, you should take advantage. You don't have cancer, and it's like, do you really not know what I just went through and all those surgeries? Like, twisting, like, even to, I know this is gonna be gross, but to wipe my bum when I take a number 2, it is hard. It's hard to turn because I literally have been cut from here to here. Totally. Like, twice.
The amount of scar tissue in there alone.
Then the surgeries, the 4 on this side, then the drain. It's like my whole abdominal area has been macheted. Well, and over and over and over, and like played with, fondled, pulled out of me, put back in me, washed. It's like,
well, your core though is like everything. If you have a weak core, you are weak overall.
Yeah, and like, sure, I'm, you know, and I'm a server. That's what I do for a living. I love it. I love people, but walking 24/7. I can barely, like, my Costco is my exercise. My grocery shop, you know, like I can do those, but then it's like, I'm tired. Like, even like when I started recently going back to the gym, I'm back to my handicap sticker, and like a lady dirty looked to me, and it's like, oh, it's hard because it's like, oh, did you steal that?
And you're like ready to throw down. You're like pulling these gloves off. You're like, oh,
I'm like, come on. Like, hold it together. I can't fight. But it's like, I look over and it's like, really? Do I got to do this? Do you have to judge me just because I'm this age and I didn't lose my hair. I don't look like a typical cancer patient because that's what society has made us believe. You know, you have to look this way to be sick. And it's like, there's even women in the community that have said I've been faking my cancer. My stage 4 cancer, I was faking it. And it's like...
I am like biting my tongue because we live in a small community.
But it's like, how can you be so... Well,
what? The balls on people to judge...
pick on somebody. Like...
To judge, to bully, to assume. Girl.
Ugh. I don't want to start crying in this episode, but it is awful. When you have to, like, defend yourself when you never should. You shouldn't. Like, bullying is so bad. We teach our babies, we protect our babies, and then we're grown-ass women who are getting treated like this and going through something that kills most of the population. But because I survived, you know, like...
Why aren't you dead? You should be dead.
Exactly. Like, you shouldn't be here.
It's like absurd. Or because, like, your cancer journey was different than somebody that they know. Yeah. Then,
but it's like,
it's wrong.
We've said this how many times
in three
episodes? It's my cancer is going to be different than
it's very cancer. Unique to you.
Yes, it's unique to you. But that's, once again, back to whatever society has made us to look at cancer patients and the typical, the normal to what they think is, you know, and not, this is normal. Well, this is our normal.
Yeah. Let me give the viewers just like a little tidbit of advice. And again, do with it what you want. Your opinion is important to us. Yep. We do care. It is valid. You are entitled to every opinion, every thought, every feeling, every experience that you have gone through. And we respect and value that. We're not always going to take your opinion, and it might not be the same for us. So I was told by someone that I know who also has breast cancer that I needed to make a decision and stop going back and forth between Edmonton and Mexico for treatment.
That's on your time. That's you. That's your body. That's what you want to do. Like,
you know. So this is my advice to people is like, just
do you.
Just do you. And understand that other people do them. And that's okay. Like, I still get all kinds of shame. Oh my gosh, I posted in a Canada breast cancer, or was it just a Canada cancer group on Facebook recently, because I had some tax related questions and I figured who better than to talk to other Canadians who've been through this. I was trying to submit my medical bills, which you can do, by the way. I had surgery in Mexico in 2014 and I submitted the bill on my taxes. It is approved. If you can show that this is not something that you can get in Canada,
interesting,
you can get it covered.
I didn't know that.
So I submitted them, and these women, it must have been a breast cancer because it was only women. Women are nasty online. You're not brave in real life. You're nasty online. Anyway, these women came for me, and they were like telling me how stupid I was for like doing the treatment. So for example, with the chemo, it's called insulin potentiated, where they drop your blood sugar with insulin and spike it with glucose. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know the ramifications of that. I know that they know what they're doing because this is a specific treatment done in Mexico for chemo, and it works. And I saw significant changes with it. Oh, they were telling me like how dumb I was, how dangerous, how dare I give advice to people like this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
it's just an experience. This is
like,
what you went through.
I don't have cancer anymore. So I'm sorry that you do, but this worked for me. Okay. If someone is curious to know what I did, this is what I did. Do your research, talk to your doctor. Man, yeah, like I could go off forever. And I'm not a person that gets really offended by a lot. Like I said in another episode, a lot of people online, they all yip about people giving them unsolicited advice. I like the advice. If it wasn't for unsolicited advice, I wouldn't have done half the things that I did. Like,
but it's just, don't be rude. Like,
well, yeah,
don't be mean. We don't need it. Nobody needs it.
Yeah.
Just, you're allowed your opinion. You're allowed your opinion.
Yeah.
We all can have our opinion, but don't be upset if they don't take it or don't want to, right? It's just then okay.
If you feel very strongly that chemo is the answer,
then do your
then
chemo.
say, hey, chemo worked for me. So for me, being as crunchy as I am, being as anti-pharmaceutical companies, anti-medication as I was, I did chemo and I got better. And that was a very humbling experience for me.
Yes.
Like, if anyone deserved to be humbled, it was old Becky on her high horse, okay? So I was humbled big time. I was like, I'm never doing chemo. That is for stupid people who don't know how to research anything about cancer. Well, here I am, stupid person who, you know, had all the side effects, who, you know, it worked for. Yeah. So, you know, I've come down a few notches off my pedestal a little bit.
I think we all.
Right? But now, like, if I see someone posting online saying, like me with the similar, I don't want to do chemo, I don't want to do this, I have HER2 positive cancer, I'm like, respectfully, I appreciate what you are saying. In my opinion, I think you should do the chemo because it works for HER2. Yeah. But that is the only time that I give my opinion on that.
But that's because you've experienced it and it's worked for you, you know?
But I wouldn't be like, you need to go do chemo or you need to go to Mexico.
No. Nobody should ever do that.
I would recommend it. I would strongly recommend to anybody listening, if you have cancer and you are not entirely sure about, even if you are sure about our healthcare system, I would still recommend either seeing a naturopath or going to Mexico.
They should work hand in hand.
Seriously.
They should.
We have an episode written down on here about dual modalities and how integrative
I believe
treatment.
in both. More the holistic side, but.
Well, I certainly did not believe in both when I started this process, and now I'm like, you know, someone actually said to me just before I chose to do chemo, she's like, just so you know, not everyone at the pharmaceutical company is like trying to kill you. She's like, there are some people who like legit want to help you. And I was like,
that gives you a little hope, hey?
They must not be at the top then. They must be like low-level employees here that are like actively working to make the medication. Yeah, they're not taking the cash. Anyway, I could go on forever. I'm a conspiracy freak. But yeah, so the stigma of looking good when you're sick.
Just let them look good. Sorry. Like, come on. We want to look good.
Has anyone asked you why you have hair? Like, I have cancer. Do you have hair?
No, I usually just, because I'm such an open person before they even get to that point, because they're going to piss me off. I'm like, I have a rare cancer. There wasn't treatment, so I didn't do chemo radiation. My hair does, though, however, fall out and all the time. And like,
yeah, it's getting thin.
It's thin. Like, it used to be really thick and long, and I'm surprised I still have it, and it breaks real quick. Like, it's very brittle, but.
You know how like when you're pregnant, you get lots of hair because your hair doesn't fall out, and then like at some point after you have a baby, your hair falls out?
See, I never got that.
See, I'm thinking it probably started now because mine didn't fall out.
Interesting.
After Eden, like my oldest one, it fell out like right away. I was using a cat hairbrush to try and pick through my knotted hair. It was awful. I chopped off. This is why moms get short haircuts. And then I was like, okay, well, this is stupid. Like, whatever, I'm going to try to grow it out. I couldn't. I kept it short until my other daughter was born. But my hair did not fall out at all. And this thing was like thick, like so much hair. And it took 2 years after she was born, I had a weight loss surgery. Yeah. And they said, like, if you don't get enough protein, you're going to lose hair. And sure enough, all my hair started to come out. All that hair that I had saved after having her, all fell out. I had like clumps and clumps and clumps. And it didn't even look like I'd lost any hair, honestly, like, because I had that much.
I also heard, I don't know if it's true, but it takes 6 months. Like, I don't know how it is, but like, when you're sick and it comes through your hair, it takes like 6 months to get it like coming out and stuff. I don't know. Is that true? I don't know if it's true. I'll have to do some research before I say it's true or not.
But it's known fact, science.
Definitely not.
Like, I am wondering with your hair.
Well, I'm also anemic again.
Well, anemic. I'm also wondering if because they took a part of your colon.
Well, yes.
If you're not absorbing the nutrients as much as you should be.
And my tummy going up and down. They think that it's just not functioning. Nothing's functioning properly. And with half of the colon gone, my body definitely isn't absorbing.
Yeah. Like, I know, so my husband is lost majority of his colon, like 3/4 or more of his colon. And, doing some research on that, I think that we know that this part absorbs, the water out of everything. So you can get like dehydrated fast. And which is probably why you're like, oh, I haven't had my salt today. I'm so thirsty. And me, she's like, you haven't even peed yet today. And I'm like,
I probably went 5 times to her, not even one.
That's because I've had 1 sip of water today. So
I drink a lot of water.
See, so look, like 2 people with very similar
cancer
journeys here, right, but like totally different approaches. And like, I know I need to drink water. I know I need to be eating that Celtic salt
and I do it constantly. I'm still being
And so,
but that just shows how our bodies are so different and unique to ourselves.
Yeah. I see some people who have gone through it and it's like, you had cancer? Like, you were so perfect now. Like, you don't look like anything. And then there's other people I'm like, ooh, they had cancer. Like, look how ill they look still. So I think like it really varies, like what toxic load stays in your body too, because you have to figure
how to get it out.
Surgery is so hard on you because all that medication and chemo, I mean, is toxic. Radiation, obviously, is so toxic.
I've had almost 20 CT scans. And
geez.
2 PET scans.
Yeah.
And 1
You're
in
glowing
10,000. Literally 1 in 10,000 get cancer from just CT scans, which the doctor told me. And it's like, and I've had, okay.
I think actually when I was at the Miz, when I was getting a CT scan, when I thought I had brain cancer, I think I was reading a sign that said every time you go into a CT scan, it ups your risk by 2%.
Yep. And I've had a lot.
That's insane.
And now for the rest of my life, because of the form of cancer I have to go every 6 months for the first 5 years, and then once a year for the rest of my life.
Wow. So someone had told me that Brazil nuts are supposed to help protect your body from radiation.
They are supposed to help. The only thing is the ones that I've been getting, and I can taste mold in anything.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. That's another one we should do. Another
topic
on molds. I know so much on that. And like, because I had it all over in my body, in my blood, everything.
Right.
But see, it's gone. I don't know.
Brazil nuts.
Brazil nuts. Yeah. The ones that I had gotten, you could eat them. Like when you ate them, you just tasted it. I'm like,
I should let you try mine upstairs then, because I wonder if mine.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it since.
I just thought, I don't know, like nuts taste weird sometimes to me. Is that because they're moldy?
Could be, yeah. And I was going to save this for the episode, but since we're on this, the best place, where to store your nuts?
No.
Is in the freezer.
Okay, I could see that.
No bacteria, nothing grows on it.
Right.
No mold, nothing. So I store my nuts in there. I store my flowers in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. But that can be another episode.
For our nutrition episode. Yeah. Okay, well, let's get back to us talking about having to look good in public. Yeah. Did you ever feel like anxious or nervous about running into people you knew?
Mm-hmm. Because I looked pretty. Or I look good. And then it's always like, well, yeah, right? Like, you're not sick anymore. Right. It's like, it's like, so I don't go. I'd rather just hide at home, so I don't have to explain the same story or made feel that I should be somewhere where they think I should be when it's like, you don't know what's happening in my body. It's hard. It's hard to recover from 3 surgeries back to back to back. Let alone you're only supposed to be put under, I think it's once every few years. Because it like shortens your life or something.
Oh, no way.
I don't know. Something we gotta look into there.
But yeah, I've had several surgeries, so
it's not good for your body.
Well, I'm not surprised. You figure like the anesthetic alone is probably really terrible, like putting you into a deep sleep. It's probably like not great for
I was put under 5 times in 1 year.
Jeez.
Last year. Because I had 2 colonoscopies. And then I had the 3 surgeries.
Well, like, no wonder you're so tired.
Right after this episode, it is bedtime for me.
I wonder if your toxic load is high, like if you have like a lot of lymph stagnation.
I do. When we went for the live blood analysis, my lymphatic system isn't working. That's because of all of these ones. So your lymphatic system in your stomach, where it drains, is in the right armpit, so it has to go like this and come up and go through, but I've lost all of them. Not all, I guess 30.
So it has to like try and find a new way to get there.
It's interesting. The body is so
complex.
Yeah. And stuff I would never have known if I went through this journey.
Well, they don't teach you, right?
No, but they should. I believe schools should teach you this stuff.
There's a lot of things I wish that school would teach you.
And also a big one, don't be a bully. Don't be mean. Be kind. Be humble. Be caring. And this world would be such a better place if we would just all get along and not judge people on their looks or.
Yeah, or just make assumptions based on what you think you know. Just because someone looked sick or looked like they were dying or
they did pass away from cancer.
Doesn't mean that other people are. In fact, like it is very stunting, I would say, to put that on a person who's sick. It is. Like, did you ever have people be like, "Oh,
I had a group.
I hope you don't die. I know someone who just died of cancer."
And then they joked about me being dead.
What? Okay. That's very dark.
Isn't it?
I was thinking more like people trying to be sympathetic, but by being like, someone would, and I'm guilty of this too. I'd be like, "Oh, you have cancer? My sister."
Well, you lived a good life, and it's like,
what in 36 years? Like, what have I done in 36 years? I don't even own a house.
I've never been married.
Exactly.
Still working on that.
Like, at least I've been married twice. Like, at least I've got that under my belt. But yeah,
good for you.
Good for me.
Oh my goodness. Well, I haven't been married once.
Divorce. Yeah, that's okay. Wait till someone great comes along. Yeah, I would feel very, I don't know, like anxious to go out and about.
Still now.
Like anytime I would go somewhere with my girlfriends where I like would put on makeup or whatever, I'd be so worried about seeing people from work or people who don't know me great. Like my close friends, different story, but like people who know me but don't know me well. But just like that stigma.
Yeah, but how sad is that? It's pathetic. We literally almost died last year, but here we are being judged because we want to look good and live our life, even though we're still sick girls or we still don't have that energy and we're not up to what we were, but we have to be like walk on eggshells because, it's like, you're going to say something or your opinion or, you know, like.
Yeah. Shortly after I found out that my pathology was clear, I was talking to my insurance, like my disability provider, and she knew that I was still like in the middle of treatment. I hadn't even started radiation at this point. I still had like 6 months ahead of me of treatment. And she said, someone from your work emailed me and let me know that you have a clean bill of health and you can go back to work now. And I was pardon? I'm like, who said that? And again, like throwing the gloves, like, who said that? I haven't even heard from a single person this entire year that I've been off. Not one single person that I work with has asked me if I'm alive.
I hope this person sees this podcast and you feel really bad because you judge somebody.
Just understand that, like, when you don't reach out to your coworkers or your friends who have stage 3, stage 4 cancer, they're sick, they don't know if they're going to live, every day they wonder if they're going to die, and you just assume that they're better and can come back to work even though you haven't once checked on them. Right. That hurts the heart a lot. Right? Like, I felt very, I was mad because I was like, how dare you?
I'd go finding out who they were.
Well, and I mean, it doesn't matter to me because like, I don't hold on to things for very long. Yeah. Don't just assume that because I have a clean bill of health, because I had my whole boob cut off and they did pathology on it and saw that the cancer was gone, does not mean that I have a clean bill of health. Like, do you know that I still have 6 months of treatment? Do you know that I am in more pain now than I ever was? Do you know that I am more tired now than I ever was? I have a longer road now. The trauma built up from all of this is so much heavier now in 2024 than it ever was in 2023.
Yep.
So, like, this is why, you know, when we say, like, there's such a stigma or such a preconceived idea of how you're supposed to act. Like, my one doctor told me I could go back to work March 15th, and I had finished radiation February 2nd, and I was like, I cried. I bawled my eyes out. I laid on my floor, and I had a mental breakdown, and I cried, and I thought, I can't even wake up to get my kids out the door in the mornings. Like, I'm so beat mentally and physically and spiritually and everything. I'm so drained. Like, how am I supposed to take on the responsibility of trying to help somebody in business?
Your brain, you're not the same person anymore.
That person's gone.
Who I was before, you know, it literally is gone. Now it's like we're a whole different person. Our thought process, everything, and our bodies literally have to become something new because my stomach is mourning all the organs and the pieces that are missing. Like, it doesn't even know how to work yet.
Totally.
But just because I look pretty, because I put on some makeup, I put a filter on sometimes.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, so because of that, I should go back to work. Or because of that, you know, I should act a certain way.
Well, and
or I can't be sick.
The thing about neuroendocrine cancer, like what Ashley had, is that everything is internal. Yeah. You don't see an appendix. You don't see the colon. You don't see an ovary. You don't see the lymph nodes. You don't see the peritoneal lining. Like, you don't see any of that. At least with breast cancer, like, you can see that I lost a boob. Yeah. Right?
But with me, I just look like a normal person.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't know you before you were sick, so I don't have anything to compare. But, like, yeah, you could be sick. Or, sorry, no, you could be healthy. That's what I meant. See, my brain also doesn't work.
It doesn't, but I look like a healthy person.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't look like I'm sick.
I've had so many inner monologues where I've been heading out where I'm like, I dare one person to say something to me today. Like, I hope I run into someone.
Also, get therapy. I think everyone should.
Oh, yes.
Because I've been doing therapy for now, ever since my cancer journey. And it's very, very important because it helps this mental health, you know?
The cat's here. Sorry.
That's okay. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Therapy. You don't realize what you are holding on to.
You don't.
I said earlier, like, all of a sudden, I just start crying at something that I thought I had dealt with, but
because it's still there, you know,
and as much as like any of us can say, I don't care what people think. Oh my gosh, this
put your butt
so
down.
Annoying. Okay. We forgot to close the door. You know, as much as you can say, I don't care what people think.
You do.
We do. Even if you consciously don't care,
it's
your
still there.
Subconscious hears it. Your body hears it. You like humans.
Your cells read it.
Humans want to be loved, right? Yeah. They want to know, like, that they're cared for. Is this purring going to be loud in here?
Whatever, we're real.
So to like not hear from a single person I work with, it's like, I mean, consciously, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I live for my family and my friends. I don't live for work.
Yep.
However, subconsciously, like the most primal parts of a being, like need their basic needs met, and love is one of them. Love and acceptance, right? So like,
it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Like what did I possibly do to make you hate me this much?
We're the sick people. We're the ones who need the love, but yet we're getting picked apart and left, right, and center. It's like, really?
Well, I think the thing is like,
she's like, no, Mom.
Yeah, no, she's not. If there's purring, I'm so sorry, everyone. I think because we have so much time to think. Like, I'm in my head a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Because like, what else can I do?
What
I don't fill my day 40 hours a week with numbers and work things, right? Like, so my job is make sure my kids are doing well and make sure that you survive. And, you know, that's just it.
Get what are healthy things that we need to do for our bodies. But what else? Like, I think about all the things. I am learning, though, how to, like, I've cut out a ton of toxic people on this journey.
You have to.
Because even in my live blood analysis, she was like, Ashley, are you stressed out? I'm like, no. Ashley, are you stressed out? I'm like, mm-mm. She could see it in my blood. Like, that's how big it affects us. And we don't know. I didn't know until I started my journey. You know, and like, and it's really big. Like, surround yourself with people who want to better you, want to be on the same path as you, and like encourage each other. Don't surround yourself with, I hate to say the word, but I won't say it.
Bad people.
Bad women.
Not men. Just not nice people. Right? People that don't raise you up, people that don't support you in whatever journey path you decide to go, even if they do not agree with it.
And it's going to be hard, let me tell you. It took me half of my cancer journey to realize what was important to me and to make those decisions, you know.
Putting this cat down. Keep talking.
To just, do I want to stay here or do I want to grow? Do I want my cancer to come back? Because stress is a big thing when it comes to your body. And even my oncologist said, I need to eliminate the stress in my life or my cancer will take my life. It will come back and it will kill me. And like, literally, I'm told that until it hits a major organ, there's nothing they can really do. And it's like,
yeah, we don't ever want to let it get there.
Right? It's like, so I have to make the right decisions, who to keep in my life, what are my surroundings, what I decide to do. Like, drinking. For me, the oncologist really told me to just carry on with my life. Just do whatever makes me happy, because there wasn't really anything, and I chose to
kind of like enjoy your last days. That's probably what he was saying.
Kind of, but he was like, hopefully it's not. I was like, so do I have to see you? He's like, I hope I don't have to see you for a long time, because we don't know. Right. It's just it's a waiting game with this cancer, and
that's weird,
isn't it?
It's like such a hard thing to grasp,
and that's why I struggle a lot. But granted, it's gotten better, like
for sure,
the therapy and all the steps that I've made to do it. But the biggest thing was for me was to cut out people that were toxic. And you don't realize, because if they are friends, family, coworkers, you really need to put a stop to it. Even if you have like that little question of doubt, cut it out, because it will destroy you.
Well, same with like how we were just talking lymphatic system stagnation. It's stagnation in all parts, you know, the same way that your lymph fluid isn't flowing and draining. If the joy is not flowing, if the support and positivity is not flowing, then it's stagnant and it's toxic. It's going to poison you in the same way.
Just like love. Be in a healthy, happy relationship, and they do exist, but make sure you pick the right partner that's going to support you. You know, like I didn't have it on this journey. That was hard for me. And then trying to find somebody after that was even hard. And it's like you get scared and stuff, you know?
I know. I was thinking about like, what if I had to date now with like no hair and one boob? Like I can't even imagine.
I'm self-conscious about my scar in my tummy. It bothers me. I'll show you guys one episode how big it is. Or you can just go on to my...
Maybe that'll be a Patreon.
Right? One of my social media platforms. I share my journey quite a bit, but that scar is big.
It is, yeah. And when you're used to having a fit body.
Yeah, I was in shape.
You worked out. And
5 days a week prior. Yeah. And then just no gym for a year and a bit.
Yeah, that is crazy when that's your routine.
And my addiction is that gym. I've been going to the gym since I was probably 20 years old.
Wow.
I have been meal prepping. Probably the same amount of time. I love it. You know that it's my addiction. I love it.
Andrew said to me yesterday, "Oh, I saw on Ashley's Instagram, she meal prepped all these meals. You need to do that." And I was like,
right, I'll do it for you. We'll have a day where we do it together.
And I was like, well, I need more glass Tupperware. And he's like, well, I'll buy you some. And I'm like,
it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, the gynecologist, because I had to go see her because I was suffering with some stuff on my right ovary after surgery. She was like, if you weren't that person, she goes, you wouldn't be here. She goes, that saved your life.
For sure.
Because I did take really good care of myself. Sure, you know, drink every once in a while, smoked, whatever, you know, you do those things. We're all only human. But it's like, I took pretty good care of myself. As I thought but now I take amazing care of myself. Now that I know, which we both know and we can share with you guys in the upcoming episodes, but it's crazy. You know?
I think that's probably a testament to why you're doing so well
probably
after because you had those foundations prior. If you were just some like overweight, unhealthy, sore,
I wouldn't have
average
popped
person,
out of that.
No, probably not. And not saying that if you're like overweight you can't be cancer.
But
that's
I
not
also
what
didn't
I'm saying.
like and like I didn't have that extra hand because I didn't have a husband to help make those shakes for me or meal prep for me or make sure I'm doing this. I literally had to pep talk myself to get in that kitchen, and it was hard. You know, now I'm starting to get energy. It's been about 3 weeks that I'm starting to get over that hump of everything. But
3 weeks.
I know.
It's so crazy. Remember, like, when we were young, you could just get absolutely trashed and then, like, go to bed at 5 in the morning and get up and go to work at 8 in the morning and, like, all was good. And now it's like, I socialized today and now I have to take a nap. And that's not even, like, an anxiety millennial thing. That's, like...
Yeah.
I mean, that's also that. But...
It's reality. Like, people may think we're crazy or whatever, but it's our life now. At least we can laugh about it, right?
Yeah, I can definitely get comfortable anywhere that I am. Too. I can fall asleep anywhere. Yeah.
That's the one thing that I can do too. Appointments.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, it is great. It is.
I hate being tired all the time, but
my mom usually is the one who drives, or my sister, because
you sleep in the car.
I do. I pass right out. And I'm like a solid, like, I get that 15 minutes from the city drive home and I feel refreshed, but I'm completely out. That's crazy. I've never been able to pass out just like that. And like,
I can do it. Like, that's why I don't understand why I don't nap. Like, I can easily fall asleep, but I choose not to.
Maybe, do you think you're like missing out?
Like FOMO? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, what am I missing out on? Like, my kids watching stupid YouTube? Like, I don't know. Yeah, fighting? No. I honestly don't know at all. I think I just feel like if I'm not constantly doing something, then I'm being lazy.
Or you're giving into the cancer or something. But you know,
yeah, that's true.
The one thing I did have to learn, because I was also just like that, we have to allow our body to rest. Because that's right. But you do, because that's when our healing happens.
Well, that's why I say sleep is so important. That's why you should consistently get 8 hours a night.
8.
Because
I'm like 10.
Right?
Love it.
Like, because you need to repair. That's when your cells repair. That's when your digestive system does its thing. Like, that's why you're not supposed to drink water right before bed, because you don't want to dilute your stomach acids.
Why you're supposed to have your turmeric at nightemime, because it helps heals your body.
I do take it every night before bed.
I have my immunity boosting shots. I take that every single night. I've been upping it because I just kind of feel a little more exhausted.
Right.
Maybe because of the anemia or whatever. But I've been taking one in the morning. Just started this week, and then one at nighttime.
Yeah, my kids are both on it now. Turmeric or theracumin, which like
cumin,
same difference.
Yeah.
But it's like even in kids, I have an 11 and a 13-year-old, and even they need help like taking down inflammation and repairing and making sure that like whatever they do in the day, they can rest and repair. Yeah. So I'm like, take your own advice. You should do it. So I do very consistently take my pills. I am on a whole slurry. That's an episode we should do. Just bring our pills.
Actually, that's really good, because I got a ton, and I do weird things. But it works for me, because I went and got my blood. It takes 4 months for your red blood cells to turn over. I just did mine. And
you're going to appointment next month.
Yeah. We talked about it, and my blood is like clear. It has never been this clear.
Exactly. Whatever you are doing is working.
Yeah. And I'm so proud of myself. Like, I'm proud of you too. But, you know, like, to where I was, and to the heavy metals, the mold, the fungus, like that, to where I am now, it's a world of a difference.
And like your blood showed so much different than my blood too. Like, right, you had the parasites and the mold,
fungus,
heavy metals. I had like some weird ribbon thing that we didn't even know what it was.
Oh, really?
I had a lot of liver indicators, and I had like red hot guts and
interesting,
like an insane amount of white blood cells because I was going through chemo and. Like it just looked so different than yours, but it's cool. But yeah, we should show all of our supplements, and I guarantee not a single one of those came from a pharmaceutical company. Not a single one. These are holistic.
Yes.
And they actually want you off of these things when you do traditional treatment. And man, did I ever feel like a bag of garbage when I got off of them. It's only these last 2 or 3 weeks that I started up again. That my body is starting to be like, okay, you're human again. You feel alive.
You got this.
Again. Yeah. You wouldn't think vitamins and supplements would do anything, but like they actually do.
Yep. They do. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
I believe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I eat 5 cloves every single morning. I chew them and swallow them back with water, but it kills the bacteria in your gut. It kills the bacteria in your body. I do, like, there's so many things we'll talk about in that other episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Me too. I guess maybe that could be our next episode.
Sure. A supplement. And again, we are not doctors.
Yes.
We are not medical professionals. We are not giving you medical advice. We are sharing our opinions with you and our experiences, and research it.
Make your own research.
Make your own decision on whether or not it's good for you. Like, I will just say, I was told about Rick Simpson oil, which is high concentration THC. It's supposed to be an absolute wonder for cancer. It put me in the hospital. I thought I was
afraid to try
it. I OD'd on weed. So don't try it. Well, I don't know. Like, other people swear by it. The one that I had was no good. But so yeah, do your own research and start slow if you're going to start doing things. But ours is a lot of like guess and check and testing out things and finding out. And I have a mix of stuff from my naturopath, my live blood practitioner, and my Mexican doctors. And those are the things that I take. And I'm sure yours is a similar
Mine's
mix.
from Googling and researching, and then from my live blood analysis.
Anyways, on that, I think we are good for this episode. Moral of the story,
be kind.
Be kind to everybody. Be kind to people who are sick, because they got so much going on. They don't need your judgment.
Yeah.
That, like, your judgment is just like the drop that like overflows this very almost overflowing cup. Okay.
And if you were mean to the person who was almost at its turning point, they could go over.
Yeah,
you
literally.
have no idea the stress and the courage it takes to get up every single day and put a smile on your face. Mm-hmm. And then we don't need bullies and the negative energy to be awful.
That's our rant for this episode.
Thank you for listening. Be kind.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.